Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. My name is Crown, and today I'm going to read you some very interesting stories that I hope that you're gonna love. And now, without further ado, let's go! So this happened a while ago, but I'm posting it now that I have all the correct details. So my boyfriend, 18, works part-time in a farm supply store in the Midwest to make some money while he's in college. He does floor stocking and cashiering, so he was working at the register when someone came up with an item and a flyer from last week. My boyfriend tells him it's an old flyer, and the guy just nods, not really listening. Boyfriend rings his stuff and the guy notices that one of the items is ringing up to a different price than what he thought.
No, it's supposed to be X dollars, not the normal price.
He points to it on the flyer.
See? It says it here.
Sir, this flyer is from last week. The sale is over. I can take it off if you want.
No, it's supposed to be this amount, and that's what I'll pay for it. I still want it, but for this price.
Well, I can't do that because the item isn't on sale anymore. After a few minutes of back and forth with the same conversation, the entitled person ends up punching my boyfriend in the face. My boyfriend stumbles back and his good boss quickly comes to the rescue and tackles the dude. His coworker calls the cops, and this nice older lady coworker gives him some tissues for his bloody nose. The cops come, my boyfriend presses charges for assault, and he goes home. He gets off for 2 days after. His nose wasn't broken and no black eyes, but he had to get on a plane the next week to come visit me, and ended up having a nosebleed on the plane because of it. The entitled person is in jail because this was his first assault charge. He also lost a small joint custody of his kids he was barely hanging on to from his ex-wife. His ex-wife actually called the store and apologized for his behavior, and sent the store some chocolate for him as an apology and early holidays gift. Edit. He kept using the customer is always right excuse for why he should be paying the price he wanted. Edit 2. People are confused why the wife called. Apparently the guy was trying to buy a toy for his kids, and she felt responsible because she gave him the flyer when he complained it cost too much. The new price was under $5 for a discount. She felt guilty she not only gave him the flyer, but that she felt she had caused this whole incident. She also gave him the flyer the week the sale was happening. My boyfriend and anyone else doesn't blame her for anything. Update. So the entitled person ended up having to pay damages to my boyfriend. Honestly, I don't know how much. Also mandatory anger management and community service. My boyfriend used the money to buy a ring, and now we're engaged. So overall, a happy ending. This story all begins last year, when I was a senior in high school. I have a lot of stories about high school, but those are other posts for different days. When people say my name in a story, I'll be referred to as Alba, my last name. So for a start, let me describe myself. I'm a Korean/Irish girl, and I have what people call a ballerina's body. But I have strengths in my arms and fists primarily. I also have had, after this all went down, semi-curly ginger hair that was down my back. I'm pretty extroverted, so I had many friends in school. And B was one of them when I was a sophomore. But when junior year rolled around, I noticed that B was very toxic, and she started to control where we would go in the mall when we hung out, where I sat in the cafeteria during lunch, stuff like that. She also acted like she was superior to other people. Many people didn't like her and complained a lot. So naturally, I started to distance myself from her because 1. I didn't like that type of behavior and it was annoying, and 2. I didn't want people I met to associate me with her and think that I acted the same way she did. B did not like that. I guess she liked being in control somewhere in a relationship. B did not have many friends to begin with, so when I started not being her friend, she had nobody to hang out with. During winter break, I learned that she started hanging out with a boy that ended up being her boyfriend. This guy is in one of my classes, but I didn't care too much because I didn't know him. By the time we came back from winter break, they were hugging in those halls. very touchy-feely with each other. Skip to summer of 2017, I saw B and her boyfriend literally everywhere I went. I went to the fair and they were there too. I once went to the mall to get a custom-made umbrella for my cousin's birthday. I know, weird, but my cousin has a knack for collecting umbrellas. And lo and behold, B walks in with her boyfriend in tow and walks up to me and says,
"Oh, hey, Alba. Didn't know you'd be here."
I was very confused. Now, Redditors, what would a 17-year-old girl and her boyfriend want from a custom shop that only sells umbrellas and other winter items in the middle of summer? And I also knew that she wasn't invited to my cousin's birthday because she didn't even know my cousin. By that point, I was convinced she was following me around. Senior year swings by and B starts trying to talk to me again, and I was having none of it, considering the obvious reasons. Then a day before spring break, she said to me,
"Alba, I've seen that you've been ignoring me, and I really don't appreciate it. I'm such a good friend."
"Honestly, B, you're really not. You're kinda manipulative."
"How can you say that? I'm really good to you."
I begged to differ. Then I walked away. She would shoot daggers at me when I saw her after that, and B was also extremely jealous. When B saw her boyfriend talking to a girl, she would walk up to him and say,
"How could you cheat on me with this witch?"
A friend who was still semi-friends with B had the boyfriend story sent to her by B. Basically, he posted a story on his Snapchat that said, "Was the most supportive person in my life," over a picture of him and a girl, and B went nuts. She complained to my friend that her boyfriend was cheating on her with who she called that ugly witch. Turns out, that was his sister. Fast forward to May of 2018, when the cribbity crab hit the fan. I was partnered up with her boyfriend in my chemistry class that we had together. B learned about this and went berserk. She had the nerve to come up to me and say,
"Keep your filthy racist hands off of my boyfriend."
Keep in mind she was completely Caucasian. Maybe 2% of any other race, but she was very white. And I have never been racist towards anyone, unlike her. She called my eyes Ching Chong, and also called me a drunk ginger. And I'm the racist one now? Okay, so a week after that happened, her boyfriend had to come over to my house to finish the last part of the project. Turns out B was planning to go to the mall with her boyfriend that day, but he had to cancel to come to my house. Her boyfriend was steaming. So the next fateful day I was in class with her boyfriend. We turned in our project. We were talking about what grade we think we get when B came in with these big scissors. Neither her boyfriend or me saw her coming. That day, I was wearing my hair in a low ponytail. At this point, I was growing out my hair, and it was very important to me since I had to shave my head in 8th grade after an accident. I had a hard time reviving my looks, and I was proud. Until then. So, on account of my friend, who was also in the class, and also the boyfriend, B came up from behind me, pulled my hair, and cut it to about shoulder length. At first, I didn't know what happened, but when my brain had processed the snip sound, I knew what had happened. I whipped my hair around and stood up, and there was B, holding my hair in one hand and the scissors in the other. And here is a dialogue. I asked her, "Did you just cut my hair off?" B then dropped my hair on the floor and said,
"That's what you get for flirting with my boyfriend."
Then B proceeded to slap me across my face. It didn't hurt, but I was angry. I looked down at B's hand, and it looked like she was getting ready to hit me again. So I did what was necessary and hit her square in the nose. All I heard was a deafening crunch and her hitting the laminate. Then she started screaming,
"She hit me! Get her arrested!"
Next thing I know, I was in the principal's office, explaining what happened and all of my previous experiences with B while waiting for my mom to get to the school. I was also very emotional because all my hard work to grow out my hair had been foiled. The principal says, "So what you're saying is that B came into the room, cut off your hair and slapped you because you were flirting with her boyfriend, correct?" "Well, yeah, that's about right." "Okay, so how about you wait here for your mother?" 10 minutes later, my mom walks in and starts getting angry when she sees my hair. because she knows how long it took to grow it all back. The principal quickly briefs the situation to her, and she gets even more heated. Basically, I was suspended for a week. I still don't know why I was suspended, even though I was just defending myself. We were told to come to the school for a meeting with B and her family and all the witnesses the next day. So the next day we walk in and we are guided to a big conference room with a big rectangular table in it. We were seated directly across from B and the entitled mother. They were both shooting us dirty looks. Also, there was my friend, her boyfriend, another friend of B, and the principal. The principal recounts B's side of the story first. She accused me of attacking her with my fists. When the principal asked her why my hair was cut off, B said that she grabbed scissors and cut off my hair so I would stop. There are many reasons why that makes no sense, such as the fact that when the principal came into the room, she was still lying on the floor from my punch. So there is no way she could have cut my hair off after I punched her. Also, 26 other people said that she attacked me first. Then the entitled mother speaks up.
That wild animal attacked my daughter and broke her nose. She deserves to be in jail.
Then my mom spoke up. No, your daughter attacked mine and cut off her hair.
That's not true. My little angel is innocent.
I saw B cut off all of Alba's hair. My friend says, I saw B cut off all of Alba's hair. So that's not true.
This is nonsense. You just paid all these people to lie about this.
Then her boyfriend pitches in. It's true. B attacked Alba first. Then Alba defended herself. B shouts,
You're supposed to be my boyfriend and support me.
Not anymore. I'm breaking up with you.
What?
B then starts bawling her eye holes out, and I was trying to hold in my laughter. And so was my friend. The entitled mother says,
You don't even have any proof that B did anything.
Lisa says, Actually, that's why I'm here. I recorded everything. Turns out B told Lisa what she was doing, and Lisa had enough of B's nonsense and recorded everything she had done. Lisa then played the story and it clearly displayed my side of the story to a T. Her entitled mother says,
This video is doctored to make B look bad.
Then the principal says, Well, everyone and everything says otherwise, madam. B then turns to me and asks, Would you like to press charges against her? Well, of course I said yes. The principal then reached out to the police and let me and my mom file a complaint and press charges and stuff. The Sunday before I get to go back to school, my mom gets a letter in the mail telling me that we're getting sued for $50,000 for assault. We immediately got an attorney and looked into this. The entitled mother was accusing me of assault and harassment against B, which is ridiculously untrue. We are going to court soon to figure this out, but I will update you strangers when everything is done. When everything is done. Additional information update. I ended up pressing charges for assault and stuff like that, and I'm pretty sure she got 4 months in juvenile detention and community service. She also got expelled from the school and she does online now. I don't want to give her max punishment because I want her to have a chance in life and be able to become a better person and get a job. First, I will tell you about my crazy brother. Growing up, he was always a clown doing voices and antics to keep everyone laughing. He was shameless and getting a good laugh from everybody. On top of that, he was always a tough guy and a fighter, but he always stuck up for the underdog and was never a bully. He was also built, 6'4" and 220 pounds, and had NFL tryouts as a tight end. Fast forward 40 years, decades of undercover drug work and then bounty hunting some of the worst cases in the country have taken their toll. He is a middle-aged grizzled guy that has been beat down but not defeated. We were both at my mother's place on the southeast coast, visiting, and had to go to the local Piggly Wiggly for supplies. While checking out at the register, a stereotypical native New Jersey Karen, 45, short, skinny, just ate a turd looking on her face, big black hairdo and all, walks up to the back end of our line and shoves a $20 bill in the young checkout girl's face. She was demanding change. In a meek voice, The girl tells Karen that she cannot give her change. She will have to go to customer service. Karen reacts like all the Karens. But since this was a native NJ Karen, she did it in an extra nasty manner. She started screaming at the poor girl about, "I need to get filtered water. You need to give me my change now." And the girl said again in an even quieter voice that she was not allowed to make change. After several rounds of this, the little girl was getting quieter and quieter. Karen finally screamed, "It's not my fault you are so fat and stupid. You have to work here. Now give me the change." The girl with tears in her eyes tried to respond again but couldn't even make a sound. Just then, my 55-year-old 6'4" brother takes a step towards Karen and starts barking at her. This is not just a slight bark or even a normal loud bark. This is the loudest, deep-chested, most obnoxious bark any human being is capable of creating. Every time Karen starts to open her mouth, my crazy brother starts barking. Karen does not give up easily, and it takes a good 3 to 4 rounds of barking to drive her off to the customer service desk. By this time, all the shoppers and the little checkout girl are laughing as hard as they can. Trust me, all Southerners dislike the native Karens that have infiltrated their coastal community much like the crab machine dirty Canadian geese. With Karen gone, the little checkout girl finishes checking us out as I pay. My crazy brother hands her $20 and says that's for having to put up with all the jerks. The little girl started crying as that was probably 4 hours of take-home pay for her at the time. You would think this was the end of the story, but my crazy brother is crazier than that. As we're walking out with our groceries, we see the native Karen at the service desk giving poor service guy hell. So my crazy brother starts barking at her again. She turns to complain to the service guy, and every time she opens her mouth, she gets barraged with barking. She finishes getting her change and beats it out of the store. As we exit, we see Karen pulling an empty water cooler jug out of the preferred Karen mode of transportation, a Cadillac Escalade, which she, of course, had left parked in the fire lane. She had needed the change to fill up her jug from the filter water machine. She turns and sees my brother and is driven in the way that all Karens are driven to have the last word. She starts to scream at my crazy brother, and he starts to bark at her until she finally gives up. Broken and glorious Karen defeat. We get to my car and my brother is in the most joyous mood I have seen him in years. He cannot control his horse's laugh of sheer joy. I start to pull out and he says, "Drive by her car." I drive by and the crazy brother puts his window down, sticks his entire upper body out of the window, and starts barking at her all the way through the parking lot. As we pass, she runs out into the lot and takes a picture of my license plate with her cell phone. I wish I could have heard the response of the police when she asked them to go question me 3 states away about someone barking at her. Of course, she was a native NJ Karen, and probably told the police that we tried to murder her. What she does not realize is Southern police hate native NJ Karens just as much as everyone else. Thank you for watching and see you next time.